Welcome to the Bookers Alliance podcast, where we hold the pencil and the pencil is power. Coming at you right now is your host, Marky Mark, along with the man, the myth, the legend, Frank Donaldson. Join us as we discuss the ever-changing landscape of professional wrestling. So hang on tight, you jabronis, and enjoy the ride. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you for joining today's episode of the Bookers Alliance podcast. Come on inside the house. Bring yourself up your ringside seat. Get your soda, your popcorn, your whiskey, everything you need. There's some dangerous curves going into WrestleMania here ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, put your seatbelts on
today,
guys.
Dangerous.
Yeah, we got some twists and some turns, and we got some excitement coming here now. So put your seatbelts on, because I think business is about to pick up, as one old good announcer would say.
Old school. Danger, Will Robinson.
There
Danger.
You go. This is about to get sharp. Not Naomi now, because Naomi would tell you caution. Proceed with care. But we're gonna tell you now. Hell, we're in the midst of danger.
Look,
get it together.
While we talking on that, Naomi, hope you're doing good. Hope everything's great.
Did you see the pic that she had the baby?
Bro, that was an AI pic.
That wasn't no AI pic. She done had the baby. She been pregnant for 12 months. Hell, how much longer can she go?
That was an AI pic.
Hell, she was pregnant at WrestleMania last year.
Who posted that pic?
Jimmy or Johnny or whatever, whoever. Who the hell is he when he ain't?
It was not his official IG account.
Hold on, who the hell is? Wait, well, let's catch up first. Who the hell is he when he ain't Jimmy? Ain't he Jonathan?
Jonathan?
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Joshua?
Yeah, no, that's one Jay. Of them is. I think that's Jay. Yeah,
Jay
so it's Joshua and Jonathan. Okay, so yeah, Jonathan.
All right, now we call it government names. Phil. Okay,
there
Phil.
You go. Yeah, Phil. Well, we ain't gonna call him Joe.
We ain't calling him Joe.
No, because there's a Samoan that we really care about. That is disrespectful to call him Joe.
So yeah, we can't go into that. But yeah, Naomi, hope you're doing well. Let's throw a shout out to our sponsor this week. We got to talk about Elijah Craig's Straight Rye, Kentucky Straight Rye Whiskey, 94 proof.
There you go. It's interesting that it's Kentucky Rye this week. Huh?
Kentucky.
Why would that be, sir? Why'd you pick a Kentucky whiskey this particular week?
Kentucky's calling.
Yeah.
They calling.
So I heard there's an event going down out there that we need to be a part of.
Might be getting a certain Bookers Alliance barrel pick here.
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. And Elijah Craig. Remember when he used to play the guitar on Raw and SmackDown? He would come out and say hello and thank you for walking with Elijah Craig today. And
no.
We would do that. He would do that gimmick. Remember?
I know you're the wrestler historian, but that man's name was Elias.
No, Elias died. Remember when he got sent away? Then the guy came back with the shaved beard, his little brother.
Bro, he's back. He's in TNA.
Yeah, but he's Elijah there too. Hell.
That's his brother in TNA.
Yeah, no, his brother was in WWE. Remember
Tell me that man.
Clean-shaven
Tell me that clean-shaven man. Tell me that wasn't LA Knight.
That was LA Knight's brother-in-law. Hell, all them jokers are related. Either WWE's got a factory in the back where they're just producing these older guys. Because neither one of them guys are spring chickens. They could have produced them 20 years earlier, but what the hell? But they're making them back there. They got a factory in the back where they got 39-year-old guys with square jaws, and they're just cranking them out left and right. LA Knight, Elijah, Elias.
Also, congratulations, Rick Boogs. Congratulations.
Is his knee finally better?
Yeah, he's better. He's on his own TV show now. He's got a play in a major TV show.
Are you kidding?
No.
Rick Boogs found work?
Yeah.
The hell's he doing?
Along with Wardlow?
Oh, hell. What is this? The Tony Khan toy box? Hell, is that where Rick Boogs is?
Camille?
Oh God! So all the buff badasses here. Where did they all find themselves? What, we got a resurgence of American Gladiators coming out?
Exactly.
Holy hell! Good God! Good Googa Mooga.
I saw the report on that, and I was like, Rick Boogs. I was like, we just talked about him not too long ago on a conversation somewhere. I was like, he done showed up in American Gladiator.
Holy hell! Wow, is that the one Miz is supposed to host?
Yep.
Good God! Lord. Yep. Unfortunately, I heard about this at some point, but I didn't know that they were going to find all the WWE, WWF cast-offs.
So look, that's my toast this week. Congratulations to Rick Boogs.
Congratulations, Rick Boogs. Back to work.
Ooh. Good old rye whiskey.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
I done dropped an ice cube. Oh, hell.
No.
We got a breakdown over. We got a meltdown over here now.
Clean up on aisle 3.
Yeah, we done got a meltdown over here now.
All right.
That was the first drink, too. I didn't even sample beforehand. Holy hell, what a show this is going to be.
All right, we got to start off. We got to start off with the main event. We're starting this week off with the main event.
The main event.
The main event.
The main event of Mania? The main event of what?
The main event of everything that is right now.
Uh-oh. Well, talk to me now. Let's hear what you got.
I'm just going to say, Oba.
Oh, hell. Here we go.
Oba.
Here we go.
Mr. Obafemi, you are on the rocket. Strap in. Hold on tight because you got Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yeah, buddy. I mean, we begged for it. We cried for it. We did everything we could to get it to happen. And my goodness, here we go.
I loved the setup. I loved how they swerved me.
Yeah.
I loved it because look, you could smell Seth Rollins versus Brock Lesnar coming from a mile away.
Oh yeah. We mentioned it last week.
Yep.
We mentioned it the week before. We complained about it both times.
It was perfectly set up. Even when Paul Heyman shuffled out there. Now look, we all thought Paul was going to be gone for a while, but Paul shuffled. He gathered himself up. He shuffled out there looking like he was disheveled, looking like he done been beat from pillar to post.
Paul looked worse than he did when Bloodline beat him up. Remember when Solo and them beat him down? He looked worse than that this time.
Even my wife said, "What happened to
Paul's
him?"
got a good makeup, man. You got to give him credit for that because holy hell.
Anything for the bit. I guarantee that man was back in the back, probably smashing a pole in his eye.
Yeah, he did. He did because he had the black eye and everything. You could see he put the work in to be messed up out there. Like he wasn't gonna come out there and look, we got makeup on it. No, Paul probably took a shot in the eye over the weekend or whatnot and said, I got to make it look old because his eye was all red. I said, what the hell? Was he back there with Snoop Dogg? What the hell are we doing here? But
I love he come out and he basically told Seth, F-A-F-O, F-A, F5.
Yeah, he finally got it. He finally got it in the end where he said, you know what? I'm bringing my beast and I'm bringing him to
bringing the pain.
And thank God he did because all them damn sweatsuit dudes out there. I don't know if you remember, but I texted you before. I'm like, God, are we gonna? I was like, here comes the pain, and you were like, maybe. And I'm like, well, if he comes, hopefully he takes out all these sweatsuit assholes out here. And sure enough, he cleaned all of them out except one.
He broke a few of their necks.
Yeah, no. Them guys, they got a heavy lesson in welcome to the business.
He slung them boys around like they were rag dogs.
Yeah, they got that welcome to the business that you don't be looking for. That damn, I could have went any other way besides this type entrance into the business, but yeah, they got welcomed in the right way.
But he gets in the ring and he's standing across from Seth. Seth done sacrificed one of the sweatshirt guys to Brock. Standing across
all of them. Hell, Seth bought all them jokers from Iowa down there to take that butt whooping. They're like, you done drove all this way from Iowa to San Antonio, right? And to get your career ended. Thanks, coach.
But he gets in there. All of a sudden, lights go out. Obafemi's music hits, and we're off to the races.
Oh my God!
Here we go, and both of us were like, we popped because I fully expected it to be Seth. I had no inclination. Once I got bought into that storyline with Brock coming out there with Paul, it was over for me. I was like, here we go. Brock Seth, another day at the office. Here we go.
As soon as those lights went out, I was on my feet. Yeah. I mean, I am an old man now, as people would say now. I am an old man. But as soon as them lights turned off, I was on my... Now, before that, I was sulking in my chair. I was like, God, we're about to get Seth versus Brock. And oh, my God, this is going to be ridiculous. Yeah. But as soon as them lights turned off, I was on my feet. And when that music hit, damn, I was stepping down to the ring. I was so energized for that. I was like, you are got to be kidding me.
I have not probably popped that hard as a fan sitting in my living room since Tiffany Stratton first won the WWE women's belt off of Nia.
I don't want to know why you popped Tiffany Stratton. Can we just keep that amongst you and your own household there?
Touche.
Yeah. Had you went any other direction, I wouldn't have had a good comeback for that. But damn, the way you went into that, I'm like, Jesus. Line them up, I'll knock them down.
But with Obafemi coming out there, though, accepting Brock's, open challenge there, the sky high fall from grace.
Yeah.
And then the pose at the end, standing over him, and Michael Cole even, saying on the mic, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I mean, you could tell he had a organic reaction to the moment.
It was everything that we wanted it to be, even to the point
and more. Jump up and kick your heels.
Now we'll go ahead and flex this episode as an explicit episode because I gotta say what I gotta say. But even Bully put out there, Brock Lesnar. How do you make a motherfucker in 60 seconds?
Yeah.
There you go.
So, I mean, and you talked about the pose. Apparently, from what I've been hearing, that was Brock going off script, telling him like, hey,
stand
we
up.
got to make this bigger.
Yep.
We got to make this better. Yeah, I get it. You're supposed, no, put your foot on my chest. Have you ever seen Brock Lesnar let someone do that to him? He's done it to plenty. But have you ever seen Brock Lesnar literally let someone pin him? Because he essentially held him there for 3 seconds with his foot on his chest while he pointed to the Mania sign. That's, okay, we're already explaining. That's fucking huge.
Yep.
Brock Lesnar don't do that for nobody.
Nope.
Nobody. And I'm talking, he's been through the Undertakers. He's been through the biggest stars in the business, and he ain't let nobody do that.
The last person he put over like this was Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. And even in that, if you remember, Drew claymored him on the stage, and even Brock told him, no, hold the belt up. He said, hey, make it bigger.
Cody, to a certain extent, Cody was different.
Well, yeah, Cody was definitely different. Cody wrestled him, and he got the better of him in a wrestling match.
This is more of I'm a bigger beast than you.
Yeah, no, this is I just dropped you.
Yeah.
And like you said, nobody drops Brock Lesnar in that fashion. Even when Drew did it, Drew held the title up, but Drew didn't put his foot on his chest. No. That's a different sign. Amongst the boys, if you do that to a wrestler who isn't co-signing on that, you're probably going to get some receipts.
Yeah.
If Brock Lesnar's telling you to do it, if I'm Oba Femi, I'm like, what the hell? What's going on here right now?
So this is, to me, in my mind, what this match should be. This should be the WWE's passing the torch moment of you are the new beast.
Yeah.
You are the new alpha. You
absolutely.
That's what this should be. I hope that it is.
Yeah.
I hope they don't screw it up.
Well,
I hope it ain't some wonky match with a wonky ending. I really hope it is what we really wanted Bobby and Brock to be.
Yeah.
I hope that's what we get. We've only got it one time with Brock.
Yeah.
We've only got a true beast versus beast match with Brock one time.
Who was that?
I want to say it was Mark Henry at one point.
So a couple of years ago at WrestleMania, we had Omos wrestle Brock Lesnar, and that was supposed to be what turning itself into.
It was supposed to be, but I remember thinking in my head, like, Omos is so green. Like, it don't make sense. And that was the problem. At that point, Omos just wasn't ready. It don't make sense, yeah.
He was basically the guy, but he wasn't the guy. No. He was the guy before his time.
Like the guy.
Yeah, he had everything. He had, what do they say, $1 million body, 10-cent athletic. Yeah. It was one of those deals. Omos couldn't get the in-ring together enough to make it look believable that he would put Brock Lesnar.
Did Brock and Show go against each other one time?
Yeah, many times.
Many times.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the realm that I'm thinking that this match should be in. Like,
essentially, yeah.
It's Mountain Man versus Mountain Man.
What it should be is what we almost got with Lashley and Lesnar. I mean, those guys wrestled 3 times. We had both guys picking up a win, and then the third there was no winner. There was a smosh. So
see, that's where I'm hoping this doesn't go, because what they tried to do with Lesnar and Lashley is they try to turn it into a 3-match thing.
Yeah.
I don't want that in this, but and I'm hoping to God that they're not going this route, because if you give me Oba Brock at Mania, Oba Brock at somewhere in between, and then Oba Brock at SummerSlam where Lesnar is supposed to retire.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look, if anybody's going to retire Lesnar, let it be because Lesnar is like, damn, I got beat at Mania. Maybe I'm not on the top anymore. And then let that person that goes up against Lesnar and look at him to retire for his career, Gunther. Let that, because like Gunther just, he's smelling blood in the water. He's like, hey, you're not the top dog anymore. Oba is. Now I'm going to take you on out.
So I don't hate that angle of it.
I hope that's the way they go.
So I definitely do too. I definitely don't want to see Oba have to wrestle Brock for the next 6 months, because essentially somewhere in there he's going to lose, and then it's going to be too predictable. At that point, it's going to be a tit for tat type deal, and we've seen that enough, right?
If they don't put Oba over on Brock at Mania.
Well, that'll be fumbling the bag in the
I am
biggest
gonna be
way
one
possible.
pissed off fan. And look, WWE, you are talking to one of your newest members of the fan council.
There you go.
That.
All right.
So,
You're on the board.
I'm on the board. So
on the board.
Y'all saying our opinions matter. Listen, this is my opinion.
The hell.
Oba better not lose to Brock at Mania. It don't need to happen.
No. So unfortunately, we got Triple H booking. And Brock
Kofi's tweet was amazing.
So Brock does have some history in WWE with dethroning the upcoming Black Kings in this company. So I remember in 2002 when The Rock was the world heavyweight WWE champion.
Yeah.
He had the title. He was on his way, right? We didn't know he was on his way to Hollywood, but Brock Lesnar came in as a young 22-year-old buck and sent him packing because he took the title from him, right?
Yep.
First black WWE champion we've ever had, bested by Brock Lesnar. Many years later, we found a way to get the title on to Kofi Kingston and said, oh my God, Kofi Kingston is the man. Can't believe it. You know, he broke the seal and a guy his stature would never be WWE world champion. Somehow or another, he found his way into Brock Lesnar, lost the title.
Worst 11 seconds in Kofi's life.
Definitely worst of all. But there was still hope because not too long after that, Big E, WWE World Heavyweight Champion, said, oh my God, WWE Champion Big E, we've got hope. Somehow or another, he found Brock Lesnar. And then there was Bobby Lashley, who we said, now, hell, if there's anybody who's legit able to stand up with Brock Lesnar, go toe-to-toe in whatever world we got, it's Bobby Lashley. He can take down the beast.
Yep.
And somehow or another, they had a convoluted split, and then Bobby left. And the beast still stood as up top. So now, we get into this conversation, and of course, you're just sitting there silent. You're pretty much ready to hit mute on your microphone because you know where I'm going with this.
Yep.
But I'm looking at Obafemi, and I say, God, Nigerian king himself, ready to be the ruler. And then I see across the ring, I'm like Brock Lesnar. And then I remember Triple H, son-in-law of Vincent Kennedy McMahon, is booking. And I say, well, we're probably going to look at an Obafemi loss. That's exactly where I unfortunately fall in line with that. So all I'm asking for at this point is a surprise. All I can say is let more intelligent people than me get in a room together and argue with the hooded hero himself, Triple H, and say, you know what? What we need to do is build a young star. We don't need to just put another guy over just because. It doesn't have to be you versus Booker T at WrestleMania 19 all over again. Let's forget about the race of it and let's just put over the young star and make a young hero. Let's do that. But at the end of the day, Triple H has final calls, so we'll see how that ends up.
I am never going to get that image out of my head.
You're thinking of him in the hooded as the hooded hero, aren't you?
Hero.
There you go. Imagine him he would have the big H in the motorcycle style right on the top of the hood. No. It would be there.
Oh,
and instead of red
he
and
already
white,
has the Iron Cross.
Well, that's what the Iron Cross. That's the star. It's the Triple H sign. That's what I mean. The Iron Cross. Just turn that sumbitch upside down, and then you nailed it. But we're gonna hope and pray.
Yeah, we're gonna pray.
More smarter, more intelligent people than us will get in that room and have a conversation and convince him to do otherwise.
And speaking of intelligent, this does not have to be a wrestling catch as can match. This doesn't have to be any of that. This can be a smash them up, go through the announce table, break out all the Slim Jim tables, the chairs, the outside brawl. It can be all of that because I don't want to see Brock try submission holds. And then I've never seen Oba do a submission hold. No. I don't even know if he has that in his repertoire.
But what I saw on Monday night was when it came time for the fall from grace, Oba didn't have no problem getting Brock up there.
No, Brock was way up there.
For Brock to get lifted, he usually has to do a lot of helping to get himself up there. You know, like where he has to angle with a guy to work to get his body and whatever. But he didn't have to do none of that on Monday. So if Oba's ready to go and Brock's ready to go, let them jokers go.
Yep.
We don't need a whole lot of overproducing. Matter of fact, if you're the producer on this match, you got a segment off.
Yeah,
take a break.
Boys, have at it.
You let them two guys get in a room with Paul Heyman and Paul Levesque. more Paul Heyman than Levesque, and have a conversation. That's all we need to do. Brock will handle what needs to be done in the ring because he knows how to make money.
Unlike the Oba Cena situation that we were booking, this is a better off scenario for Oba.
100%.
If Oba wins, he can't get booed.
We completely shit the bed on the Oba Cena thing because we were just overexcited about Oba. He was hitting the main roster. It was the right time. We wanted him to have a huge impact by retiring someone, but as we saw with Gunther, Oba would have got booed out of the building. He'd be the biggest heel in the company right now, and they wouldn't know how to book him.
Yep. That was not what was needed, but
this would be
interesting times ahead with this match. Hoping for the best. Hoping the hooded hero sees the
holy
day.
Hell. We'll see how all that turns out. God bless us all.
Let's move on to CM Punk versus Roman Reigns.
All right, so we went from the opening of Raw to the close of Raw.
This one is really developing very interesting to me because there's a lot of different storylines that can spin out of what's happening.
Yeah.
So you've got Roman, who is basically trying to stand toe-to-toe with Punk on the mic right now.
Yeah.
Right? It didn't get physical until Monday night.
Yeah.
And then, you got Jimmy and Jay kind of taking the side of the family. I'm not going to say taking the side of Roman because that's not the angle that they came at it from.
Right.
They were taking the side of the family. They wanted an apology from Punk. Punk sidestepped that altogether, never got it. It got physical between Jimmy and Jay and Punk. That's when, the physicality started happening.
Yeah.
But now you got some tendencies of the OG bloodline kind of coming back together with Roman and Jimmy and Jay kind of dapping each other up and, talking in the room backstage. And Roman, first off, issuing the kind of charge to the family, so to speak. Hey, what you do before and after Mania, you handle your business.
Yeah.
Do what you got to do. But come Mania weekend, that ass is mine.
Yeah. So I like the way they did that because to whereas you saw it, reflective of OG Bloodline, I saw it going completely against OG Bloodline where it was, before it was Roman dictating, hey, you do this, you do that. Jimmy, I need you to go out there and take care of this business. Jay, I need you to go out there and get this guy. To whereas he's like, hey, basically, y'all do whatever you want. He's like, but when my time comes, I'm gonna get all of it. I mean, I don't want nobody involved. I don't want nobody around. I'm gonna get all of mine on WrestleMania Sunday, on WrestleMania main event night 1 or 2. And I say night 1 or 2 now because that's up in the air right now. So
boy, is it ever.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that a little bit later, but I liken it for that. I didn't love this week's segment though, because 3 weeks ago, whenever it was, I think it was 2 weeks ago, CM Punk, or Phil as we would call him, basically told Roman he was going to bury him next to his dead deceased father. Mm-hmm. And Roman kind of took it and moved along with it. Well, 2 weeks later, Phil comes back and says, "Oh, I'm in your head. I've got you beat. You're already defeated. Blah 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 blah." And then Roman said, "Well, you're old," and CM Punk lost his shit. Because he's old. Come on now.
Yeah.
CM Punk just recently put like 4 pounds of animal in the ground. And that's obviously the target that you would go for under normal circumstances. This feels a little too overproduced and too micromanaged.
So
I'm giving you all this leeway to say what you can about my father, but now I can't say anything about what I know would hurt you most because Punk don't love his father. The only person Punk loves is his dog and his wife.
I'm going to give you an unpopular opinion.
Okay.
CM Punk is just that, a punk. And I believe that's where it was going to go. And he pulled oh no, we ain't going that card.
Yeah, that's what I think too. And that's why I'm upset about it this week. That's why I'm saying.
I feel like maybe, just maybe they had that ace in the hole and they had it loaded in the chamber and they were getting ready to, spin the barrel, put it in there and fire and pull the trigger. Uh-huh. Maybe it was there.
Yeah.
Then maybe somebody backstage might have said, "Hey boys, y'all got a couple more weeks that we got to build to here before we get to Mania. Let's hold on to that ace in the hole."
Okay.
And then instead of saying Larry, let's just call him old. And I'm like, okay, maybe that's what happened. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what happened. Could we not have found something better than just saying old though? Because
well, so that's my take on it. There is, if we're gonna hold off on that, if we're gonna get to that later, then we shouldn't have got physical this week.
Or we shouldn't have jumped to Roman's father, out of the gate.
I mean, there's been so much booking and changing and all that other going on. They might have just, basically, overshot their load in the beginning and went to there with the intention of we're going to do this for the whole time.
And there, Tiffany.
Then exactly, there you go, popped up. But they may have just realized, with the amount of time left, there ain't enough meat on either one of these two bones to make it contentious for the next month. Because, we've still got a full month left before Mania.
True.
And that's from the day we're dropping this episode. We've still got a month. So maybe they looked at it like that. But if you're going to pull back on we're not going to go this far into it, and like I said, Roman gave him a arm's length full of rope, and CM Punk gave him a handful of rope. That's off balance. It's not going to work that way. If you're gonna be okay to say it, you got to be okay to take it. I've said that with any interaction that I have with anybody. Say to me what you want. Come at me whatever angle you think you can, but be prepared for what I'm going to say back, because I'm not going to hold back. Once I get to a point where I've let loose and I'm feeling what I'm saying, I'm going to rip you apart. I'm going to eviscerate you verbally with no remorse. But if you start it, then that means you open the door for it. Punk started it by mentioning a deceased loved one. Punk's only got 2 loved ones in his whole life. And one of them is now deceased. Obviously, that's the tit for tat.
Right.
But if you're going to say, hey, I'm not ready to go there, well, then you can't go there in the first place, right? Punk was okay to do it when it was him doing it, but he's not okay to take it. Again, like you said, anybody else may have changed it besides them two, but I doubt it. I don't see anybody else changing it besides them two. And for me, if I'm Roman Reigns and I know I'm taking that shot to the head anyway, oh, hell, forget what we talked about in the back. I'm still saying it. And then you can go ahead and give me a real shot. And if there is a receipt to be, given back, then we'll do that at WrestleMania. But I ended the show with, well, CM Punk, you're old. And CM Punk just loses his mind and punches him. And then Roman's like, oh, I'm in your head. It just made that whole segment wonky from where it had the potential to grow and be almost as exciting as like the Orton Rhodes segment, which we're going to talk about here in a second. They missed getting to that level of it by just keeping it on such a mild thing, but having him get so upset by it, it makes it unbelievable.
And also just kind of point out here at the end before we move on real quick, they've kind of booked themselves into a corner now, because now Roman has to win. If he doesn't, he got beat by an old guy.
Yeah, you got beat by an old guy.
That totally kills Roman's tribal chief character.
Yeah, at that point, he has nothing.
Yeah, unless they already had the winner picked out in Roman, which we fully believe that was going to be the winner anyway. Unless they've gotten to that point, there was no reason for him to go in that direction.
No,
because now it's kind of like, if he loses, he lost to an old guy.
Yeah, and
where's that tribal chief?
3 weeks ago he was saying, when after Punk main evented the Chicago pay-per-view, he was saying, Punk's old and he's tired, he can't keep up and all that.
We hired you back to get a cheap pop from Chicago.
Exactly.
Crowd.
So he's already downtrodden. Punk is over the hill.
Yeah.
If he loses, well, now your biggest, brightest star just lost to an over the hill guy.
Yeah.
And
that don't make no sense.
Well, it may, because on the other channel, your biggest, brightest guy may be losing to an old guy. So let's transition on into that.
Let's transition into that. We got to talk about Randy Orton is now hearing the voices again. He has turned into the Viper, the Randy Orton of old. And we had a bona fide heel turn on SmackDown.
Now that's the way you turn a heel.
When he left Cody in a bloodied, disheveled heap. Like, it was just nasty.
Yeah,
it was nasty.
He beat that man's ass like he owed him something.
Whatever
he owed him, Randy got every bit of it that Friday.
It was to the point where it was like, I kind of knew, like I felt it in the contract signing.
Yeah, you knew they were too friendly in the contract signing. You could see Randy was really struggling with the whole, it shouldn't have been you thing. Even when he started his promo, he was like, it wasn't supposed to be you. It wasn't supposed to be
it was supposed to be easy.
Yeah.
When he started going into that, I was like, Cody, run. Like,
Yeah,
get the hell,
right. Like,
get the hell out that ring.
I didn't know they were
Run.
going to get into it in that moment.
No.
But we've also never had a peaceful contract signing.
No.
There never has been one. There never will be one.
I was trying to figure out how the table going to break.
Well, so I'll be completely honest, and sadly, I thought that's where we were going to get the swerve of either Drew or Jacob running out there, fudging up the whole thing. That's what I honestly thought was going to happen, because I didn't see those two guys having that falling out this early into it.
Yep.
I legitimately thought they were going to swerve us with a third guy to come out there and do some nonsense with putting one of them through the table and putting their name on the contract and blah, blah, blah. And I was already upset about it going into it because I thought that was going to happen. So what they paid me off with, it almost popped me as big as the Oba Brock stuff from Monday night, because it was such a swerve, and I was so surprised by it, so unprepared for it, that it made it great. And these are the kind of things that I love about wrestling.
If I'm booking this angle right now, and I know they won't do this because they need Cody on the road to Mania, he's got to make all the appearances. But if I'm booking this right now, Cody's out Friday.
Oh, no. They're not.
I know they're not going to do it. But if I'm booking this angle, Cody's out Friday. Cody is not medically cleared. Cody is, in concussion protocol, blah, 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 blah.
Well, he probably will be and all that to keep him from being physical going forward. Right. I mean, they love doing that with Cody. Cody's always injured going into a main event, so they don't have to touch.
But I want Cody to attempt to try to get the revenge.
Well, yeah.
Either the SmackDown before Mania, or
this is also the storyline that they always play with Cody.
Right.
Cody's always too injured to be physical. He can't get in a match, but he's always out there trying in his tracksuit trying to fight his way through.
Now here's what I want to see.
He knows this role.
Here's what I want to see, though.
Okay.
Here's what I want to see. I want to see that attempt made. And I want to see Randy Orton beat the ever-loving dog shit out of him.
Well, I want to see him take an RKO out of it, because now Randy Orton's got an RKO everybody shirt with a nice little blood stain on it. And I'm like, well, damn. The small touch there, chef's kiss.
So how it all went down, the beat down that he received on SmackDown, the laying his head up in the
crevice of
the steel steps with Randy. You thought Randy was going to leave. They were kind of taking care of Cody. Randy snakes his way back around, gets the chair, stands up on the announce table. And first off, that might have been the first deliberate headshot attempt with a chair that I've seen in years.
No, I mean,
I've seen people throw the chair.
Well, now let's talk about it. No way he hit him, right?
No, he didn't hit him. No, he hit the
I
top
get what
of
you're
the
saying.
step.
Okay, I'm just making sure. I get what you're saying, though. The first one to even look like,
legit,
even anything short of a complete accident. Yeah, it's the first time that they've even gave the inkling of a notion of that could be what happened.
Even with the pile driver in the KO Cody storyline, that was cool within itself, right there.
Yeah.
But the fact that Randy attempted to headshot this dude, and you've not seen that in years because of the CTE protocol, right? For us as fans, look, the youngins out there seeing that, they were all invested in Cody. Anyway, Cody's bleeding. Oh, God, our hero's hurt. that was their storyline that they're looking at. All of us adults and old heads that have been around.
It's just Monday night for us. Right. I mean, we're used to seeing heads cracked by chairs.
We were looking at it and going, damn, Randy means business.
Now, I will tell you, that's probably the first time I've ever seen that spot done, is as long as it's been available. Because
agreed. I've never seen that
crevice
before.
has always been in those steps.
We've seen it with the leg or something else, but
I've seen people throw the steps at people's heads. I've seen people's legs, arms, what have you, put into that little crevice. But I've never seen anybody laid in the crevice and then cracked right across the quote-unquote skull with a chair. Very creative, very inventive, and it looked devastating as hell.
Whoever produced that, whether it was Heyman, whether it was Hayes, whether it was
those two guys,
whether it was Rude, whether it was Randy and Cody themselves, whether it was Hunter, whoever produced that, kudos. That was cool.
Absolutely.
That was cool.
That was quality. That was quality stuff. But you just mentioned a lot of names that may have produced that. I don't know if any of those names were the actual producer of that. I think whoever produced, and I'm using the air quotes when I say produce, I think whoever produced that spot may have been who was on the phone on Monday night. So let's talk about it.
Let's talk about that.
Because this storyline carried its ass over into Monday.
It did.
And I was like, damn, you're going to give me more of this on Monday? Come on with it.
We were already invested at the end of Friday night, and then Michael Cole Monday night says he's got an interview with Randy Orton. and that the interview started off, Randy was on the phone, and Randy said, thank you for reminding me that I am a killer, and reminding me that wrestling has more than one royal family. Who in the blue hell was Randy Orton talking to?
So I got an answer, and I don't want to tell you who, but I'm going to tell you who because I just got to. Ted DiBiase. That's who he was talking to.
Everybody's got a price. I love it.
So, no, that's not the answer.
Was not Ted.
No, absolutely not. If it turns out to be, so it won't turn out to be because the only tie that binds there would be Ted DiBiase Jr., who's currently serving a very long sentence in the correctional facility of his home state. So it won't be the DiBiase family. They're not the royal family that we're talking about.
Nope.
But let's talk about it.
So let's talk about it in two phases. Let's talk about who we want it to be. Who we want it to be because of how interesting the story will be coming out of it.
Yeah.
If it's who we want it to be.
Yeah.
There's two
You give me your top. Your top guy, and I'll give you my top guy.
My top guy of who I want it to be?
Yeah.
The final boss.
Hell yeah.
That's who I want it to be.
So the last time we saw The Rock in WWE, he was called back from what we hear because ticket sales were slow.
Yep.
Well, ticket sales have been slow to them effort right now. So they ain't selling nothing. They done dropped 31.6% off the tickets on Monday because they can't sell them jokers for nothing.
Look, if you bought it at the original price, I'm sorry, you just a sucker.
At that point, I'm putting them on the black market. I'm trying to sell that ticket because I'd have bought 2 more on the damn 316 day.
Yep.
But yeah, tell me, if Rock doesn't come back 2 years later to get his comeuppance on Cody and finally cash in on that soul that he's so greatly desired over a year ago, if he does that with Randy Orton, 2 third-generation superstars working together to take out a second-generation grandson of a plumber, hell yeah, come on with it. That story writes itself.
But let's talk about this for a minute, real quick. Let's talk about it because we got some other things we want to talk about before the show ends.
Well, I got to give you mine. I got one for you.
I know. But let's talk about it for a minute though. If it is The Rock, everybody's like, well, why would it be The Rock? The Rock and Cody squashed their beef. They were last shown on the camera having a Terramana in the parking garage.
Yeah.
Why would it be The Rock? They've squashed it. What politician do you know that doesn't change their mind?
Absolutely. And if you want to talk politicians, those are two of the biggest ones in wrestling history there. But that's not true. The last time we saw The Rock, John Cena was kicking Cody in the nuts for Rock. So,
true. But,
they didn't necessarily squash it.
Let's go deeper, though. Let's go deeper. That wasn't the last time we saw The Rock. Last time we saw The Rock, as far as WWE is concerned, was on the Pat McAfee show, where The Rock said, him and Cody don't necessarily have to have a match to end their squad. It's done.
They don't have to have a match, but that doesn't mean that they won't still have that beef. So if another guy fills the role of the final boss in the match, so be it. And if that ever finds its way to lead into another match between Rock and Cody, hey, we're still interested in it now. All right, there's definitely that.
Tell me yours. Who you think?
So when I start thinking of royal families in wrestling, I go straight to the top. And the name that I think of when I hear that is McMahon.
Ooh.
And when I start thinking of what McMahon,
Shane?
I don't know if Shane got Randy's number. I don't think he does. But now Stephanie may.
But
yeah, I was gonna say, but that.
I don't know if we got time to get into that conversation.
That goes into another. That goes back into the dark territory. Yeah, that's the dark days of wrestling that we're talking about there between a man and his wrestling wife and another man and his wrestling wife. And sometimes there's a mixed tag going on and other things like that. But we don't need to get into that. But no, hell no. I'm talking about the boss.
Ooh. Not the final boss, but the boss.
No, the boss.
The boss.
The first boss.
The no chance in hell boss.
Right, not the final boss. I'm talking about the first boss. Ooh. I'm talking about Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Ooh. Now, we've all heard rumors. We've all heard the scuttlebutt about Vince wanting to do this hostile takeover from every which way we can go. And the words that we're saying are, Triple H has his boy. Cody is his champion. That's his guy.
Yep.
Well, who better to come back and take out his champion as well as take away his control of the company than the man who wants it more than anything in life, and that being Vincent Kennedy McMahon.
The only way that pops true, the only way that happens is if the talks of Vince actually trying to acquire the company back from TKO is legitimate.
Yeah.
That's the only way that happens, because TKO within the company within itself, don't even look at the WWE. Look at TKO. Look at the Endeavor Group.
Uh-huh.
They have done everything they can to distance themselves from Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar came back.
Yep.
The Janelle Grant lawsuit, not even going to speak on that, but that's kind of been played out, so to speak.
You ain't hearing about it no more.
So are we still trying to distance ourselves? Could there be a new partnership kind of involved, since TKO is going?
Could be a partnership.
We're not getting the return on investment we thought we might get.
It could be, and that's where I'm leaning into it. If they're looking at it like, hey, we paid a buttload of money for this and we're not getting what we needed out of it, but there's somebody over there with a little bit of Saudi money possibly looking to say, you know what, I'd be more than happy to take that off your hands and take care of it myself and leave you guys out of that stressful situation. If you're a businessman, you're looking at it like, hey, that ain't the worst idea I've heard. And if you're going to play it out on TV, you play it out and say, you know what, I bring my champion, you bring your champion, the winner gets control of the company. There's your story for the whole summer.
So we've talked about who we wanted it to be. Real quick, flash, 30-second drop. Here we go. Who's it probably going to be?
It's probably going to be somebody already in the company. More than likely, it's going to be, I don't know, a legend or something like that.
I think it could be one of three people.
Okay.
I think it could be Aleister Black.
Gross.
Which would be a bust for me.
Yeah, I would hate that.
Sami Zayn, because he's circling around this scene anyway. I could kind of see that.
Yeah.
Who low-key would want it to be, but I don't think it's probable, because I don't know how they would spin it or where it would go.
Yeah.
Could be Hunter.
Could be Hunter. But
him and Randy are boys. So.
They are, but I mean, that completely goes against what we just said about Cody and Hunter being tight, thick as thieves and whatnot. Worst case scenario, who I don't want it to be would be Cowboy Bob Orton.
Yeah, I don't want it to be.
We don't need to flash back to WrestleMania 1 and have his dad call.
I don't need it to be Chris Jericho.
No, Randy's way too old to have his dad calling in a favor and all. Yeah. We're past that. Yeah. So it's got to be somebody groundbreaking or somebody that's going to make the biggest news possible. Otherwise, there was no need to do it, because what they did on Friday made this feud big enough.
Jam-packed episode. We're trying to warn y'all there are dangerous curves that are ahead of WrestleMania. We're trying to warn you. We've talked about a lot of dangerous curves.
Well, it's about time speed's picking up here.
There's some curves we didn't even talked about yet.
No, we get it. That's next week.
So tune in next week to a continued conversation of what's coming at WrestleMania, what's happening on Raw and SmackDown. Drop us a line on our social media platforms. Let us know what you're thinking. But with that, everybody, we thank you for listening to today's show, and we bid you adieu.
Peace. Now,
today's podcast was produced by SBP. You can find our podcast on all major podcast platforms. Also, connect with us on our social media accounts. Search for The Bookers Alliance on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and X.